Now to the boys trapped in that cave and to one man who has a real understanding of what's going on. Todd Russell, one of the men rescued from the Beaconsfield mine, joins us from Melbourne. Well, Todd, we've all had our hearts in our mouths as this rescue drags on. I guess you must have mixed feelings watching it unfold. Does it bring it all back for you?
Yeah, good evening, Layla. It does. It's something that's very close to my heart, obviously. As the rescue unfolds, it brings back a lot of memories of how we, went through it and how we work with our rescuers to bring us home safely. It's daunting on the family as well. I spoke to my sister and that tonight before I came up, and they were saying how emotional it was for them to see the boys be reunited with their family again, and just brought it all back to 2006.
And of course, as you know more than anybody, being located isn't even half the battle. It's the getting out part that's the hard part. How do you cope with the waiting and the fear? You guys knew that you still might not make it out, and I guess these boys do too.
Yeah, it's, the good thing about it is there's a group of boys. I was fortunate enough that I had Brant and Brant had me. The idea is of all these guys sticking together and as one, it makes them a stronger unit and helps them, be aware and make sure, that everything that's done is done in the right way and they can help each other through it. And, by doing that, it makes it so much easier on the group of boys at the end of the day.
Yeah, they have each other. For many people, this is a reminder of the wait for you to get out, but you didn't know what was happening in the outside world. Has this made you realise what it was like for the world watching your rescue?
It is. Again, both Brant and I experienced what the Thai boys experience now. We were 6 days before we were found alive. I think the Thailand boys were 9 days. And not knowing from one day to the next whether they're they're coming to rescue us. Brant and I were fortunate enough we could hear machines and people operating around the level of the 925. But unfortunately for these boys being such a long way in the cave, some 3 Ks I believe, not knowing from one day or 1 minute to the next whether the rescuers are on their way to retrieve them and take them home to their families.
Well, I hope that we see many more happy family reunions as we did in your case.
Yeah, it is. It's just amazing, and for the families to be there waiting for their children to come out. As my parents and my loved ones were, they're waiting for me when I come back and surfaced. It must be hard for the families at the moment knowing that, there's still a number of boys inside the cave yet to be brought out, and the families not knowing what boys were coming out, so to be standing around waiting to see whether it's their boys or someone else's. But the jubilation from the families seeing their loved ones again, and obviously for the families seeing them boys reunited with their family, knowing that their turn is to come, and I'm sure that all families will have the support for each other and help them get through it until such times as all boys are brought back safely.
And it is indeed a comfort to know that they have each other there. Todd Russell, thank you very much.
No worries, thanks Layla.
And 9 News reporter Alice Monfries joins us now with the latest from Chiang Rai in Thailand. There has been another press conference and you now have a clearer picture of the second rescue attempt. Any idea now when we could expect to see this next group of boys out, should all go to plan?
Well, Layla, should it all go to plan, we could be seeing these next 4 boys emerge within just the next couple of hours. In that press conference, we were told that this mission kicked off at about 11 o'clock local time, that is just 5 hours ago. We know that it's virtually the same rescue team, that were using the same techniques and tactics to bring the boys out. So based on yesterday's mission, we could expect to see them within the next 2 hours. It was also confirmed in that press conference, however, that the boys brought out yesterday were the 4 strongest boys. So it is possible that if these boys coming out right now are a little bit weaker, then this rescue could take a little bit longer.
I believe there's been some good news late today too, that the weather, which was feared to have worsened the situation, hasn't had that impact.
That's right, very good news. There were very heavy monsoonal rains overnight, a good 4 to 5 hours of heavy rains, and there were real fears that that would cause a lot more water to flow into the cave, possibly undoing a lot of the good work that rescuers have been doing to pump that water out to keep the water levels down. We have had confirmation in that press conference, though, that that hasn't been the case, and that is really critical information, because if you see the vision inside the cave, you can see those narrow tunnels and pathways, and if the water level was to rise even to just a little bit further, that could really complicate this operation.
Okay, thank you very much, Alice. 9 News reporter Alice Monfries in Chiang Rai.